9-4, and their lead over the Packers would be only 2 games. And here's the remaining schedule. They get the 49ers at home, at Pittsburgh, and then what is potentially a huge game, Green Bay in the Metrodome. Salisbury, right side, Allen. Out of bounds at the 35.
And Denny Green told us yesterday he thought his team was getting a bum rap because they hadn't beaten anybody with a better than 500 record. Well, it appears they're going to lose to this team, the Eagles, who have a better than 500 record, as do the 49ers and the Steelers, and all of a sudden the Packers.
Right. So the test comes at the end of the season for this resurgent Minnesota Viking football team. 4:09 to go in the ball game. Salisbury, that's high and caught on the rebound, then dropped. Now they say incomplete pass. That Anthony Carter never did have possession. And Mark McMillan is right there with him.
McMillan's had a heck of a day. So many of the defensive players of the Eagles have been impressed with McMillan's ability to cover. They say he's unbelievable. He's always right on the guy. But his size is such a disadvantage at only 160 pounds that they're really concerned whether he can make tackles or not. So far today, he hasn't had to make too many.
3rd and 4. Caught by Hassan Jones, and he gets out of bounds with a first down, and he stops the clock with 3:57 remaining.
Vikings do have 3 timeouts remaining, but they need a big play in a hurry, being down by 11 points. They've done awfully well scoring points in the 4th quarter this year. Came in as the 3rd highest scoring team in the league behind San Francisco and Buffalo.
Trailing now by 11. They had cut it to 4, and then the big play by Seth Joyner when he intercepted Salisbury and returned it for a touchdown. On 1st and 10, Salisbury goes deep right side for Anthony Carter. It's overthrown. McMillan with pretty good coverage. The pass on the outside shoulder of Carter, and he was expecting it inside.
Now McMillan took away the outside and forced him into the inside, and the quarterback normally will throw this ball closer to the sidelines, but that's perfect coverage by the rookie from Alabama.
He's a feisty young one, isn't he?
Yeah, he said no, that's a regulation basketball he can dunk. It's not one of those Nerf ones. Says he can palm it, go behind his back.
I'm beginning to believe him.
Yeah.
2nd and 10, 3:51 to go. Flag is down. Allen is out of bounds. We may get a holding call. This one may come back. They threw it right at the feet of Tim Irwin. And he will come over and argue and try and make use of his law degree.
And his argument will be overruled by the judge.
Wait. Reggie White says, what do you want to do with this?
Holding, number 64, offense. 10-yard penalties accepted. Repeat 2nd down.
It was Randall McDaniel, and Irwin was acting as his legal counsel.
Yeah, it was a moot point, though.
Tim Irwin said yesterday the one thing he's learned while practicing law in the offseason in his hometown of Knoxville is you treat the judges with a bit more respect than you do the officials on the football field.
Well, they got the gavel, that's why.
On 2nd down. Salisbury, deep left side, Hassan Jones, Eric Allen, perfect coverage. Incomplete pass. This is a secondary in which Eric Allen is the only starter who's still at his original position. And look what they've done the last 3 weeks, and then compare it to today.
And this has got to be really bothersome for Denny Green, because his quarterbacks have not got the ball in the end zone by the pass in a long time. Gannon threw 11 touchdown passes in the first 6 games, and Salisbury only has a couple himself.
3rd and 20 with 3:39 remaining. Blitz. That's 5. Andy Harmon gets credit for it, but make it a coverage sack. Good downfield work by the secondary.
Yeah, that old 3rd down and 22 to go. That's not too hard to play pass defense in that situation.
Kahima is practicing his boxing stance back at the 30-yard. Look at this. Riddick Bowe, get ready.
That might be out of his weight class, though.
Perfect. Watch him go. Now we know shadow boxing's the secret.
I tell you what, he just may have delivered the knockout blow to the Vikings with that return. He always seems to make the first guy miss. Little tiny moves, too. Not real flashy, but very, very determined and experienced. This is why the Eagles went out and got him off of Plan B from Green Bay. Top punt returner in the NFC.
He had a 51-yarder wiped out by a penalty earlier. This time it's a 25-yard return off the 43-yard punt. Cunningham. Heath Sherman gets the handoff. Well, it would appear now with 2:45 remaining that the Minnesota Vikings and Sean Salisbury are going to suffer the defeat and fall to 9-4. Green Bay is winning big, so they will be 2 back. And the Philadelphia Eagles will go to an 8-5 record. And then they go on to Seattle next week. The Jets leading Buffalo. And by the way, our thoughts go out to Dennis Byrd and the encouraging news that we heard from Lenox Hill Hospital yesterday. Second down at the 35-yard line. 28-17. Tackle is made by Jack Del Rio. That'll be short of a first down at the 33-yard line. David Alexander, who was a teammate of Dennis Byrd's at the University of Tulsa. You see the number 90 on the back of David Alexander's helmet in tribute to his fallen teammate. We're at the 2-minute warning. We have a 3rd and 2 at 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Play fake. Randall Cunningham is about to go over 100 yards rushing for the day. And Sean Salisbury can only shake his head in admiration for what Cunningham has achieved today. 118 yards on the ground. First time that he's rushed for more than 100 since he did it against New England in 1990. And
it's amazing how this team has turned around in a game and a half. That second half last week against the 49ers, and now today, the Eagles now are totally back, hitting on their offense, their defense, and their special teams. They've all played well today.
Heath Sherman at the 10-yard line.
And Kotai talked to us yesterday, and he said, you know, Randall's got his rhythm back, passing and everything, and that's good. But what we need out of Cunningham are big plays. And he's gotten those big plays from Randall by what Randall does better than any quarterback in the league. And that includes Steve Young of the 49ers. Nobody runs as well as Randall Cunningham.
And he has rushed for 121 officially now. And it's a 2nd down and 9. So the Philadelphia Eagles will improve to 8-5, and they are at home for the last 2 games of the season after they head to the Northwest to take on Seattle next week. Down inside the 5-yard line with 20 seconds remaining. Heath Sherman with a carry.